Guys, and welcome to Justice is a Process, another broadcast here covering the Franklin Tyrone Tucker case. And today we are going to be going through listening to witness statements at the scene. These are important things that as you're watching the trial this upcoming week that you are able to contrast as you hear these individuals testify in court, that you understand exactly what they said initially, what they alleged happened initially, and what they didn't say happened initially. One of being none of them point to Tyrone Tucker. All of them knew who he was. All of them were familiar with him, yet none of them said, hey, this is the guy. So that is very, very significant. And assess that as you're watching this. So let's jump in here. We're going to get into the first witness here at the scene. This is the night of the incident, and we're going to listen to what he has to say happened. Give me a moment while I cue up the video. All right, guys, and here we are. This is the Todd O'Quinn interview. Let's listen.
Start at the beginning, if you don't mind.
The plan was I got, you probably noticed the piece of wood that sit at the top of the stairs leading up against the thing.
Okay.
All I've been complaining about people going up into a room or something up there when she was there, this and that. So I had that. I was going to mount it on the stores as like a solid door. You have a hasp and a lock and stuff.
Okay.
You could lock it when she's gone, lock it even when she's there, so she don't want people coming up there. So that's why I was here today. And but I had the wrong hinges. The door was too heavy for the light hinges that I had, so I needed to get a new set. So Matt and I, a girl came over, and Matt and I watched movies and played chess, and we.
Do you know who the girl was?
Made some chili. No, she's been there. She was there before. A lot of so I don't. It was just like I would probably know her.
Okay.
So, anyways, she just pops in. It was one of April's friends. It was one of the other girls' girlfriends.
Okay.
And came over. Matt and I had made some chili, and we ate. And then, so I had to run across the street to CBS. So I'm going to leave. Matt hears. Well, we hear the stuff there. I think it's Paula I hear. No, I can't make it out. My hearing's not too good anyway, so I just hear a woman's voice.
Where were you at when you heard it about? In the yard?
I had already passed the thing and was fixing to go through the gate, and I turned back and I saw Matt come out and go for the stairs. Now I make it to here. Now I hear Matt yelling, "Help! Help!" I stand there. I see one guy come running out. Blacked out. Shorter guy, lighter guy.
When you say shorter,
My
I
height.
understand.
Yep, exactly. You're right. But skinnier, way skinnier.
And when you say
Maybe 145, 155.
and when you say mask, can you describe the mask a little
Black
more?
mask with a white imprinted skull, like a Skeletor skull,
Okay.
with three little lines coming off the each side.
Okay.
Black long pants, black shirt, long, black.
Was he carrying anything?
A knife.
Can you describe the knife? Can you use
Yeah,
size
what-
what?
I mean, it's
Yeah, I know.
so. Anyways, he bends the corner right here. He doesn't see me on the thing. He bends the corner right there. Takes off his mask. White hair, brown. White guy, brown hair. So
Did you see what he did with the mask? Did you see what he did with the mask?
he kept saying. Then these boats were in the way, so obviously I'm standing right there. I can't see him. I see him right through here.
And he
Where
wraps
there's no boat.
and goes that
Right.
way?
As soon as he hits the bow of this, which is about that telephone pole, I can't see him anymore.
Okay.
Plus, I'm yelling now, and he starts to pick up the pace. He's getting somewhere.
Okay.
So then I think it's over. I shoot off the wall. I make it up to the second tier. Obviously, Matt's face down in a pool of blood.
Okay. Don't worry about it.
I go to check pulse, check on Matt. I look up. Here's this other one coming down the stairs at me.
What did this guy look like?
Bigger,
White guy, black guy?
black. He said something that made me think he was black, but obviously he had a mask on. So,
Do you remember what he said?
do I know you, or who are you, or I'm gonna get you, something you. I look up, and he's coming at me with a knife. He takes one down thing on me. I block with my hand here, And he hits me in the pinky.
Right there?
I'm up. Yep, I'm up like this. And somehow the blade actually slid in between my two fingers.
Hold on 1 second for me.
See, there's a cut on the side too.
Give me a
So
second.
I felt the blade go through my fingers, bro. Like this. I'm up here like this, and it comes down through.
Do me a favor, just hold still for a second.
Which way?
Just where's the cut at? No, it's this. Did you also get your shirt? Was that there before? Is that new?
You know, it's amazing. And again, this doesn't necessarily speak to the investigation itself, but it's funny when you're watching these questions, these times the police are questioning. Look, this guy's talking about important, pertinent information, and he's worried about getting a measurement that he could absolutely get in about 5 minutes. He's talking about how this thing's happening, guys coming down on him, the knife slides. He interrupts the train of thought of this guy for the pertinent information to get a measurement of his cut. Who cares about the measurement of his cut? Okay. I mean, it's like you can tell one of the problems you see with police officers at the scene when they're taking statements, they don't listen. They think they're focused on their procedure instead of just sitting down, honing in, listening, and letting the person speak, and then getting to the next step. But the most important step is collecting the information. And oftentimes you see stuff is missed, questions aren't asked because they like the getting these measurements and documenting that cut that can be done in a few minutes. But right now he's talking about important information. He's talking about important information when it comes to what happened and what occurred. It's unbelievable.
You know what? So like that. So I mean, I rolled away from him, and in 2 steps, I hit the bottom of the stairs. I hit the ground. I roll up on my flip flops, and I ran back across here again, and I said, and then I see him.
It did not look like this guy had you.
I can't do steak.
What would you say?
The steak. Best I can say because it didn't look like wide or thick like a hunting knife or a blade. It's just like a straight knife.
Now you don't live here though. You're just smart.
Yep.
You hang out here quite a bit.
Yeah, I do come here. Sometimes. No, I'm not down here very much.
All right. So what have we learned here? First of all, we've learned a couple different things. It appears that the first individual, who he describes as a short guy with brown hair and white because he pulls his mask off, it appears he sees Matt go out. It appears that given the fact that he emerges as if he was coming down the steps, that he might have been the one that actually does Matt. And I do believe there will be, we haven't got to that part of trial, but from my understanding of reviewing documentation, that it appears that the individual who did that death was, or who did that, did in Matt was left-handed. So either we can assume that the black guy came down and did that, and then the white guy runs off when he sees what's going on, or the white guy was up with someone else while the black guy is taken out. The other, the 2 people that did get stabbed. But what we could say is Matt's going up, we hear screaming and hollering, and then we see this guy emerge. But the important thing is, and we will take a look and you will be able to see exactly what Tyrone looked like on that day, whether or not you would describe him as brown hair, whether or not you would describe his build as such, because it does not appear, based on Tyrone having gray hair, and that is pretty clear. You'll see in the interrogation videos that I'm going to show you, that it appears that is not the description. That's not what he looks like. The body build, Tyrone is much bigger. That does not appear to be who he is describing. And then we're going to watch the Tom Thumb video that you're going to see the individual it most likely was as he's running back towards the warehouse. And ends up running back towards the warehouse, and then you see him run back to the scene, towards the scene, and then you see him coming back with Rory. So, again, when you look at this testimony, I want you to think about what you're going to hear. I want you to think about what the state is saying, and I want you to think about what the fact that you've got witnesses at the scene right now that are not describing what the state wants, because I want you to contrast this with, then you get investigators involved in this case who have their own opinion of what was going on, and they then decide, well, this is how it must have happened. Let's move on to the next witness. All right, so I want you to take a look at this. What are a couple of things that you would see, right? He's describing the individual that he pulls the mask off, right? He gets a look at it. What do you see? What are some things that if I'm at the scene right now, and we're not going to play this tape right at this moment, but I want you to just get a look. This is Tyrone on the 22nd. This is 5 days after the incident. So I don't believe you're going to say that there's 5 days of beard growth here, right? Gray hair, maybe a little brown hair on the top. But very clearly, if you're looking at him and you pull a mask off, the first thing you're going to talk about is this beard. You're going to say, he has a beard. He had a beard, he had a goatee, whatever. I mean, that's going to stand out to anyone. And there's no way you could say in 5 days he grew that out. That looks like that's how he wears it. Okay? That he's bearded with that he had a beard, a very defining characteristic, and gray hair. Would have said gray hair with a beard, sandy hair, not brown hair. I mean, he has a very, very distinctive look with distinctive characteristics. So I want you to contrast this with what we just heard. Let's go back and play that one more time because I want you guys to hear it. Give me a moment. Now, this is the moment we want to listen to right here, guys, because he's going to describe it. I want you to think of that picture in that interrogation room, and I want you to think, if he's staring at the guy, he's got a straight on look at him. Let's think, is he going to miss that goatee?
Yeah, I know. So anyways, he bends the corner right here. He doesn't see me on the thing. He bends the corner right there. White guy, brown hair. So what he did with the mask right here.
Did you see what he did with the mask?
Then these boats were in the way, so obviously I'm standing right there. Right from here, and there's no like, as soon as he hits the bow, this is about that telephone pole. I can't see him anymore.
Okay.
Plus, I'm yelling now, and he starts to pick up the pace. He's getting somewhere.
Okay.
And I think it's over. I shoot off the wall. I make it up to the second tier. He hits me in the. I'm not got here. So then Paula say, the Paula was that. I straighten her.
Oh, you see. I don't know what you said about Paula wanting to why would she have beef? She had
beef with the chick, the one that bends to the back. And just in there again, from just being there in just little bits of what's going on. So I can't really hear the other night. Well, last thing I heard Paula say, I just was that straighten her. That's what I'm saying. I don't really know the specifics of what they were saying. I just got the tip. I'm like, oh, saying, but tell there was some guy that
last time she talked about it.
She does it. It's like, I'll get you too, and I'll call the city. They'll shut this percent.
Now the other guy,
I want to say they didn't have gloves on.
harder.
So every piece of skin. They didn't have gloves on. I don't think I saw gloves on because I think I saw contrast between the Yeah.
He's wearing a mask.
That's what after he was facing away from me and going that way. I could tell you. But and I did it.
Where did the second guy, Jimmy, did you see where he went, or you were
I
standing?
think he took a right. That's why. That's what.
Without him?
Listen, I would have been here waiting on you. Came here by your fucking self. Oh, these and I thought I swear down I thought he was trying to
She came here by herself. Oh, I got
you know what
you.
I'm saying? After this dude, he hung back the whole time. Dude, I swear, it was like a minute. I'm like, man, I gotta go check on that. Still up there. It's like I don't know if there was 3, 4, nothing. So my name.
So, as far as you know, Paula got stabbed. Is that correct? Yeah. So you see her stabbed?
So I just go to the hospital. See if
You saw her stabbed. Sides of stuff, but there. Else it was just hanging out.
there's 1 or 2 guys up there.
Okay.
They were laid down. I didn't see them. I saw him came across the street. Shirt was ripped. And a big knot on the back of his head.
One of the suspects or somebody else?
Somebody was hanging out with his phone.
So somebody came out. Oh,
Yeah.
big dogs back of the head.
I was like, man, hit me in the back of the head and lay down.
Ever that one?
You stay right here.
All right, so here's the deal. Now, you heard the witness statement there, right? My question to you, and I want you to consider, remember, looking back at what I showed you in what he looked like, would you have missed a beard when he's pulling that off? Even if he says he kind of turned around, he's running down the street. How would he have missed seeing that big beard? That big beard, as he's running down the street, it would have been something that would have stood out so clear if it was Tyrone. Okay. Especially when he's pulling a mask off. I mean, the beard would have flopped down. It would have been something that that he would have absolutely seen. Now, of course, he says he doesn't know whether there's 2, 3, or 4 people in there. I mean, he's just saying he doesn't know. He knows that guy stood back. He doesn't know what they were doing up there. He's not sure what's happening, but he could say for certain he came in contact with 2 individuals. But that is very, very significant because, again, there's no DNA evidence of Tyrone Tucker there. There's nothing that links him to the case besides the individuals who at first try to use him as an alibi and then turn around and then place him at the scene as a co-defendant of theirs. Only when the police begin the process of saying, listen, we want you to name him. If you do so, we're going to be willing to work out a deal for you to go get Tyrone. But anyways, this is going to be when 5 days later, we're going to listen to the interaction that he has, the same man, Todd O'Quinn has with Detective Malone. So let's listen to this and hear what he has to say 5 days later.
What I'm going off of mostly is hairstyle, because when he took off his mask, he was going away from me, and then when I yelled at him, he turned. I saw a quick flash of the face, but I already know the only one who would even be close hairstyle wise would be this guy. No way he had big hair like that. No way long hair.
Well, remember that stuff is.
That's stuff that can change.
It can change.
That's really my identification, because that's what he was going away from me. I mean, he like flashed me real quick. I could never in a million years do a facial lineup. He was 100 feet away, glanced at me one time. I'm going by his hairstyle, which I know that's not a good identification, but it was. I didn't see his face.
Okay.
I mean, just for a split second. So I wouldn't even want to speculate on
this right here.
On any of them. Yeah.
Okay.
Even the ones he showed me the other day. The other ones he showed me were all older. It was a younger guy, close cropped hair, wasn't parted. It was just like all kind of like a fade around, you know, just kind of matty, bushy hair.
Okay.
But I mean, I really just glanced at his face from a long way away. I couldn't even begin to even. That's why I was telling him to take a picture. I said, you know, photo lineups aren't really they're really frivolous because I didn't really see it. And even when we were at the scene, they had the masks on.
Okay.
And so he took it off, and he just had like real close cropped hair, and just light sandy, you know, brown hair, and kind of curly, you know, like thicker.
Okay.
And that's pretty much it.
All right. Well, in that case, right here, the photo lineup I was shown consisted of how many photos?
All right. So what did we just learn from him, right? This is very, 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 very important. And again, this is much more specific than what was said at the scene, but this to me is absolutely 100% exoneration of Tyrone Tucker. Okay. What he just said, at least of him being that individual that ran down one of only two individuals. And again, now you get into he raised that possibility, could have been 3 or 4. We know it wasn't because everyone else in that treehouse says there was only 2. There was only 2. There was 2 guys that walk up. One guy is telling them to be quiet. The other one is the black guy doing the attacking of everybody, according to the people that were inside there. And there's one guy that's being the rough guy, and then one guy flees. Another one, the black guy, stays around for a little bit and then leaves. And we know there was no one else, at least no one else reported by the witnesses. And we're going to get into the other witnesses. We're going to hear that. But this is so significant because what he says is he gets a look. The guy looks, and again, let's pull up the, give me a moment here. Look at this picture right here. This is 5 days later, and the police does its best to say, well, you know, the hairstyle could have changed and things. This beard does not change in 5 days, okay? It might be a little shorter, right? Now, had he shaved off that beard, right? And this is another thing. Don't you think if it was him and he's thinking to himself, I was seen by someone at the scene, the first thing he'd be doing is shaving a beard, right? Because he'd be thinking that's what the witnesses will say. No, he shows up. Police pick him up. He's talking to him. He's got, and by all accounts, none of the police know the change of appearance. They were talking to him, I believe, the next day, or maybe it was 2 days later. His appearance has stayed the same. You don't see any bushy hair on top. He's got gray hair on the sides, and he's got facial hair. And you heard how important the facial hair and the hair was, as he says, as Todd says, hey, that's what I'm basing it on. Like, I could see the hairstyle. Clearly, this was not him. And if it's not him, then what are they charging him on? Because he isn't there. And then you've got 2 guys with clear incentive to lie. The only thing I hope is that Tyrone Tucker understands how to argue the witness, the judge's instructions on how to analyze the witness's statements. One of the most important parts being you consider their story, and then you consider whatever incentive, whatever interest they have in telling the story for the particular reason why they are. I'm sure he's going to get that. He seems to be very much more aware of these things than the average pro se defendant, and I think he's got some good people behind him. But this is incredibly significant. I mean, incredibly significant. You know, unbelievable. All right, let's give me one moment or cue up the next video. All righty, guys. So here we are. We have this. This is Paula Bont's initial interview at the hospital. So let's listen to what she has to say about what happened inside the treehouse.
I need you to tell me about the person who did this, or the persons that did this.
Okay, I don't know the one. The one that I do know, the one that was on top of me and the one that stabbed me. He goes by the name of Detroit. Big black guy.
When you say big, what do you mean by big?
Big like you, big. Big, taller than you, but big.
Okay,
Big,
stocky, muscular, fat?
Stocky, big.
Stocky, and taller than I am?
Yeah, he had
How much taller?
I don't know.
I
don't know, maybe about this much tall. Yeah, Okay,
so about 6 foot?
He had been at the house earlier, and he had been downstairs playing chess or something with Matt. I don't know, because I was upstairs. He's a friend of Anastasia Clay.
Okay.
Anastasia. I kept saying she was going to have somebody come and beat me up, steal my money. I don't know how much money. She kept saying this. She tried to have Crystal Dinklocker do it. She asked Melissa Damas to do it. Matt put a 15-day notice on her door yesterday.
Okay.
And but April's the one that brought him to the house originally. April,
Okay.
as in Anastasia, same name.
Okay.
She knows him. All I know is his nickname is Detroit.
All right. His nickname's Detroit.
He lives
He's
in some kind of warehouse.
okay.
He's in a warehouse somewhere on Front Street, I believe.
On Front Street.
Yeah.
Okay. Is he black,
He's black.
white?
Yeah, he's black.
How old is he?
In my age group, I'm 53, somewhere in that area.
In his 40s or 50s?
50, something like that.
In his 50s?
Yeah.
Okay. Any scars, marks, tattoos?
Maybe I don't know him that well. I don't know him that well. He's April's friend, not mine.
Okay, but you've seen him. Did you
Yeah,
any
but
scars or
nothing that I know of.
tattoos?
Not that I'm aware of, no.
Okay. What kind of clothes was he wearing?
Black boots. You know, like cops usually wear. He had them on tonight. He had on shorts. He had dark shorts and dark sweatshirt. Dark, like this. Look like this in the dark.
Okay.
And he's had some kind of mask on, but I knew who it was. I knew it was the minute he came up there.
Okay.
Before, I don't see well in the dark, but before he even got to me, I thought he was just, you know, I don't know, because I couldn't tell at first it was even a mask, because I don't see good in the dark, but I know exactly who it was. It was him.
Okay. Who described the other person?
I didn't really get a chance to see the other person because he was on top of me. The other person was smaller and littler. Maybe. Okay, smaller and littler like her. But he had something real big in his hand.
The smaller guy?
Yeah, it didn't look like a knife, but it was big, like something long and big, and maybe like a billy club or something. I don't know, but it was about this long.
Okay, was he white, black, Hispanic, male or female?
Black. And he was all dark clothing too.
And it was a male?
Yes.
Okay, so a smaller
Yeah.
black male. About how old was he?
I don't know. But
don't
I can
know?
tell you that Detroit had been downstairs in Matt's house tonight, so his fingerprints have got to be in there.
Okay.
It's got to be, because he hung out there tonight with Matt.
Okay, the other person.
The one
How
that's
old was
dead
he?
right now. I don't know. I mean, he's completely covered. I had a 200-pound man on top of me, and I was just catching glimpses.
Okay.
Roger is the one that you want to ask about that, but Roger, that's it. He lives in Point Santa Plaza somewhere. Roger Rugged. That's the one that...
Roger Luggett?
Rugged.
Rugged?
Yeah, Rugged. Ruggitt. He's the one that got beat up by the other guy.
Okay. And he lives in the city?
All right, so you heard her description. Obviously, she makes an assumption based on the fact, I'm assuming, because Detroit was black and she knew that the other guy was black. But she said, I guess she's really, I think, confusing it, saying he's all dressed in black. But the significant part here is that she's saying he's smaller, that he's smaller than Detroit, right? That he's a smaller person. And if you look at Tyrone, he's bigger than the description that she's giving. And importantly enough, she says, hey, it's not Tyrone. She doesn't recognize Tyrone. She hears this individual talk. You're going to hear her say that. We're going to listen a little bit more on this, but she hears the voice as well. She has the opportunity to hear the voice. If you listen to Tyrone, anybody who's listening to the court proceedings knows he's got a distinctive voice. And she would have said that, I recognize the voice. It was someone she recognized. And she says, hey, I didn't recognize the voice. Let's listen a little bit more.
Roger lives in the city?
Point Santa Plaza, but he works at Key West Golf Course. And at this time of night, he's probably staying there. He's a maintenance, he's the lawn mowing guy.
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna try to be gentle. I'll stop if it's too much, okay? Try to breathe, okay?
I know y'all promised me I could smoke a cigarette, and I would really like one. He is starting to bleed again, too. I know you.
That's not up to me. I don't get to see your first before.
How old's Roger?
In his 60s, I think he's like 65.
All right, guys. So Roger Ruggart, this is Roger Ruggart, and this is his interview here. So he's already testified, but we're going to listen to his initial statement. And again, very, very significant. He made it clear in trial that he did not see the individual, or that he didn't know who the individual was, that the individual really didn't speak. But let's listen to what he says the night of, when it's all fresh on his mind, Let's take a listen.
You let me have it, you know, a couple of times, you know.
Can you tell us what happened?
Well, sitting there, you know, drinking beer,
Uh-huh.
you know, and these two guys ran up the steps, you know, popped me, you know, and pulled me, stripped me back up on the seat, and they put a knife in my throat, and told me just, you know, sit there, you know. And that's all I did, you know.
Which one told you to sit there?
Guy in a mask, he had a mask on, a death mask, you know.
Death mask?
Yeah. Skeleton mask. Skeleton mask?
Skeleton mask?
Yeah.
Okay. Did he have an accent when he spoke?
Well, he didn't say nothing. You know? It was nice, you know.
What did the knife look like?
Long and yeah. Long knife.
Okay, what happened after that?
He caught me, I went through the screen or whatever, you know, and I got up and got out of there, you know.
Okay. Where did you go after you left?
Right here?
Right, you came right here?
Yeah.
Okay. How many people came running up? How many people you said there were?
Two.
Can you tell me what they look like?
No, they were wearing a mask.
Both were they the same mask or different masks?
Well, I didn't see too much of the other guy, but the other guy hit my, you know, about the next my throat was wearing a skeleton mask.
Okay. Can you see any of his skin at all to tell what color he may have been? No.
But you know, I know he's black. You know, he was black. You know.
Okay. Was he skittish? Was he tall or short?
My size.
Your size? Was he fat or skinny?
Skinny.
Skinny. How tall are you about?
5'11".
5'11". So is he thinner than you or was he heavier than you?
He's about my size.
How much about do you weigh?
170.
Did you recognize the voice at all?
I believe you know, Paula knows who they were. You know.
Why do you say that?
You know, the guy that attacked her, you know, was heavy set, black, you know, and she must have known, you know. I just feel that, you know.
Did you see any cars out front or anything? They leave in a car?
No.
Do you know how they left?
Just ran down the steps when the other guy came up there, you know. And they took off down the steps with him, after him. You know?
Where the guy was at?
The guy lives downstairs. He came up there and he started yelling and everything else started yelling and
What were they saying when they were yelling?
Cops?
Okay, so what level were you on? Because I know you go up the stairs and there's a first level.
I was on top.
All the way at the very top?
Yeah. Sitting in a chair, you know.
Because I know she's got like if you go up to the very top,
All right, so there we have it, guys. You can hear he gave a very consistent statement with what he testified to, which is pretty much that he really knew nothing in terms of or wasn't able to really see much. He wasn't able to identify, and that even though the cop kept asking him what was the guy's voice like, he says he didn't speak. So pretty clear and consistent with what he testified to in court. But listen, the key point takeaway from what he said is he says the guy is similar to his weight. He said he's 125 to 130. That day, you look at Tyrone sitting in that again. Go back to sitting 5 days later. You would not describe him as 125 to 130 pounds. Okay, the individual that was sitting in that interrogation room, he was 175 pounds that day. You would not describe him as similar build to him. You just would not. I would even say that possibly you might even see that bushiness of, I mean, with him being right up close, and he might have seen the bulge of that big beard. Maybe it was even sticking out if he would have had a ski mask on. I mean, that's the strongest to me piece of evidence. That beard that he had, there's no way you can manufacture a beard in 5 days of that type of length. That is a beard that he's had, and that's something that I hope he calls and asks people, hey, did I have a beard? Did I have a beard? Did I have a beard? Because if he had that beard is the greatest piece of evidence, in my opinion, that it was not him. That was the second guy that everybody says was there. If he's not the second guy, the allegations aren't anything else than that he was there in the actor. And that is the state's theory. That's what they're going to argue. Now, he shouldn't make any of these arguments until the defense case happens, right? Because the state's got to put their case on and their theory of the case on it, and they can't deviate off that. That's their theory of the case. That's what they said happened. They're not putting up saying he was there planning or he had some interest, because that's not what these witnesses are going to say. Let them go. Let them swing. Let them put out their case. But I'm telling you right now, what we're hearing and these different witnesses that have come in, it's not consistent with Tyrone Tucker being this individual in this case. That is 100% apparent and clear. These are the police body cam interviews that are right here emanating from the very early stages of this case. And you know, it's crazy to even consider. Why in the world would they want to put this on Tyrone Tucker? Why do they want to try to lay him in there when it's pretty clear it's two people that were there? Maybe he's at the warehouse. I mean, that's the only thing that links him to this situation. But anyways, let's we're gonna look at one more witness statement for this session here. Give me one moment. All right, guys. So here we are. Now we are going to be watching Todd O'Quinn. This is an interview he did the following day. This also gives you the ability to see the treehouse. He's going to walk through all the events that occurred and walk this officer through. But I want you to listen. There's a couple things you want to listen to. Number one, he changes a few facts of his story. Now, but I want you to also understand this is how this kind of worked here. The interviews you saw right at the moment, the night of, are the best indicators of what actually happened. As this thing progresses, you're going to hear he's talking to people, he's talking to Paula, he's talking to others, and it's very important to understand how memories work, because you're going to see the spontaneous memories, exactly what he saw, best evidence, and then you're going to see what happens when the police start talking to him and make suggestions, and he talks to other people. And sometimes you can start remembering what other people tell you because you start talking and thinking and adding it. But listen to what he says. One of the most important things he says here is he's going to be talking about now. He changes the interaction to steps and who he interacted with. But let's listen here. Let's jump in here and listen to what he has to say.
I come there. I find her a door. Just right there. It's still leaning right there.
Yeah, let's go ahead and walk up there. You all right with that? It doesn't.
So, I got her in my arms.
Yeah, you don't have to walk past here if you don't.
And obviously, I'll give you my shoe prints too, because I probably stepped in all this. Coming. Okay. Now, I come to hang the door. I have the wrong hinges. The door's very heavy.
So you're up there on the steps.
This is earlier in the afternoon.
Right. Okay.
You said,
like,
how did it lead
what
up?
time?
It's I don't know. It's afternoon. 2 o'clock, 2 or 3 o'clock.
Okay.
Okay. So then I find out. I come here to try to do this stuff. Find out I got the wrong hinges. So we put that on the back burner. I go back downstairs. I'm watching a movie with Matt
In the trailer right there.
He's got a movie thing set up there. I'm sitting on the couch.
All right, let's go down there. We'll go.
Okay, let's start there.
Yeah. Perfect.
So,
Hold on one second. You walk faster than I do.
Sorry.
I'm walking out of shape.
so
And this is Matt's place?
Yep.
Okay.
There's his shoes. They were up on the deck.
How did shoes end up here?
I have no idea.
All right.
Because they were up there. Because I thought those were mine. I ran up out of mine when the dude was chasing me with a knife.
Hold on. I just because it's going to make me really
Okay,
confused.
gotcha. Okay.
So you guys are chilling here?
Yep. Matt's here. Roosevelt's there. I'm there. You see we're watching TV. There's still chili in the crock pot. We made chili.
Okay.
And we're eating chili. Had a couple beers. And it's starting to get dark or whatnot. And we hear some thumping, rumbling. whatever. So that piques our attention right then. So we all we can hear it's coming from up there. Next, I hear this muffled kind of from Paula. I know it's a girl's voice. She's the only girl up there. I know it.
And you're in here at this time.
We're watching TV.
Okay.
We're still, when we heard the thump, we just both looked at each other like, what the fuck was that? But we're used to it. There's a lot of shit going on. Okay, so that really wasn't no big deal. And we hear Paula, help, something, help, get off me. I don't know what that was, but we could hear some distress in her voice.
Okay.
Matt says, I'm going up there to see what's going on, help Paula. I say, okay, I'm leaving. I gotta go across the street to CVS.
All right, so.
And to get something.
All right, so you go to CVS.
Well, no. Matt leaves out first.
Okay.
Okay. I put on my shirt. I collect my phone, my headphones, and I'm probably a couple minutes behind him. He's already up there. I know he's already up there. Walk out. Now, I don't hear any more. I get about to the shower. That's a shower in that little thing right there.
All right, let's go. Let's walk up there.
Come in here. Now, I get to about right here, and I hear Matt, help me, help me.
Okay.
I turn, I run to the bottom of the stairs. And I look up, and I see the white door, and I see two silhouettes. I see Matt is pinned up against this railing on this side behind that black bucket, and I see a guy or somebody face to face with him. Looks like to me like he's punching him.
Okay.
So I say, hey, get off him. And I bound up the stairs.
Okay.
And I hit the guy.
Now, let's go. Where was he when you hit him?
Top of the stairs. Right here.
Okay, and then what happened?
Matt was here.
Okay.
Trying to keep him off him. The guy was here. I didn't really see his whole body because he was like this.
Okay.
And I came right here. I stood right here. Boom! I hit him. He turns on me and tries to come around the thing, but he hits this thing right here.
Okay.
And he comes to get me. I block. He stabs me in the pinky. So I did that last night.
Yeah,
right?
it's just it was dark, so I wanted to get. Okay.
And then another bruise here, swollen here. I kind of threw my hands up like that, and I'm gone.
Okay.
I run up out of my flip flops, and I'm gone.
All right,
across the street. I hear Matt fall behind me.
Ahead.
I hear Matt fall behind me, and I think it's him.
Gotcha. You think it's the bad guy?
Yeah, I turn around and nobody's there. So then, but I see Matt. So I guess he somehow Matt got to be, he either pushed Matt or Matt fell. Whatever, I don't know how that happened because I'm assholes and elbows going. So I'm getting out of here. I go this way right here.
Okay.
I run up out of my flip flops.
Which way do you go?
I go this way. I go this way.
Now this is crazy because you heard the story. This is the day after. We heard what he said happened. He did not have an interaction at all with this individual. He certainly didn't hit anybody. And he said he saw Matt go out. He's walking down. He turns around. He hears Matt yelling. Where the hell did this come from? So I don't know where this comes from. I mean, again, now I know there was drug use and drinking and things going on. Maybe this is something he was afraid to tell the police because he didn't want to say he was involved. I don't know. But this is absolutely wacky.
Lost my flip flops. One there. I found another one at the bottom of the stairs. The other one was right out here. I come out here. See where that guy's standing right there on that ledge?
Yep.
That's where I go.
Walk over.
What's up, Red?
Hey, can you excuse us? We're gonna stand over here for a minute. Can we trade your spot?
I stand right here where Red is standing. Exactly right here.
Okay.
And I'm behind the van a little bit. Like about here. I see a guy come out of the gate.
Okay.
When he reaches about that telephone pole, he pulls off his mask. And I see it's a white guy, thin build, with light brown curly hair, short cropped.
Okay. Now, was he up against the fence? Was he out towards the road?
Nope, he was right on the side of the road. He was just casually walking. When he pulled it off, I started yelling. He took one glance at me and he booked and he bolted.
Okay.
Okay. Now, the girl in the white pickup truck that called 911, I'm going back and forth looking. She's on the phone with the thing.
So beyond the inconsistencies of what he claims he did, and maybe he did those things and just didn't want to say it that night, but this is, again, some of the clearest evidence. When you look at Ty Tucker, there is no way he misses saying the guy had a beard. First of all, Ty Tucker clearly has no curly hair. The build is totally different. That was not him. And it's clear that he's saying that was the individual that was interacting at the steps. There is no clearer piece of evidence right here that if there was only two guys there, and Paula says there was only two, he says there was only two that he could see. That individual was not Tyrone Tucker. The other individual was clearly Detroit, because that's what she says. That's what Paula says. And she knew that. She recognized his voice. She heard the other person's voice. That's not in the interviews we've heard so far, but we'll get into that in another broadcast. But I mean, this is very, very clear that this individual, was not Tyrone Tucker. And again, I'll leave you with this here. Give me one moment. All right, so I will leave you guys with this here. I want you to take a look at the individual in this scene here. This is John Travis Johnson. This is the guy that was the other person on the scene. He now claims he was the driver. However, that was part of what the police claimed, or comes from and emanates from what the police's version of events are. But let's take a look at the description O'Quinn gives. Bushy hair, close cropped, with kind of bushy hair at the top, curly hair in the back. This is where you would see the curls. Look at the build. Very clearly, as you see him, let's look at this right here. Look at the build. Shorter, smaller, looks about 135 pounds. Now, let's contrast this with Tyrone. Give me one moment. All right, now I want you to contrast what you saw there with this individual. Would you not have said, when you're looking at him, this does not look like a guy who was 135 pounds? Certainly not. You'd say about 175, 180, maybe 180, 190. Beard. Certainly no curly hair, no bushy hair, nothing in the middle. Now, obviously, one might say, well, maybe he got a haircut. But this beard, if anything, he would cut it off. But when he looks, he says, as you heard in the final clip we saw, he looks back. That beard you're going to see, he's going to say, he has a beard. He has a beard, shaved head, gray hair, shaved head, gray hair. I mean, those are going to be the things you're going to see. That would be a witness description if you were describing this man. You would not miss this. And you certainly wouldn't describe him as 135 pounds. So that, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to leave this segment with. That is very, very significant, in my opinion. That is something that the state of Florida is going to have a huge problem with. And I hope Tyrone Tucker can very effectively make it clear. But I think also, and more importantly enough, Tyrone Tucker, there's a reason why now I understand why in this case it's so important that Tyrone Tucker not be sitting at the defense table. Because that jury needed to get to know Tyrone Tucker, number one. They need to hear his voice, number two. They need to see his build, number three. Because the best evidence is going to be watching him in that courtroom, hearing the witness statements that he's going to play for them. I'm sure he's going to play all of this, I'm certain, or try to get it all in throughout the testimony as these people testify. And contrast it with what they said to the police originally. And it's going to be powerful evidence, guys. And I have a prediction that you're going to see a pro se defendant have a not guilty verdict. And if not, let me tell you something. This will be a grave, grave injustice that will be going on here, because to me, and again, we just looked at a couple of the initial witnesses. How did the police get here? And there needs to be a broader and greater investigation into this and the individuals that led this investigation. It's probably shoddy police work. It's lazy police work. But this is crazy. This should not be allowed to happen in this country today, right now. It just should not. So with that, guys, remember, justice is a process. Justice works better when we watch it. Get your eyes down there on this case in Florida. Go check out the free Franklin Tucker YouTube site. It's a wealth of information. Check it out. You can see all the videos and all the things for yourself. You can go through and watch all the stuff. You can download all the case information from Florida as far as past motions, past witness statements to some of the key depots. I'm going to be reviewing some of this. We're going to be going over it ad nauseum. We're going to be watching this case throughout this coming week. We are going to be keeping our eyes down in Florida, making sure that the justice system is working, because if he's convicted, based on what I've seen, based on what I've learned, based on what I've seen in my research, and I'm going to continue to bring it to you, the justice process is not working in this case. But I believe it will work. I believe it is working. I believe this is why we have a trial system. This is why we get 12 jurors in the box, because they need to review the evidence before somebody has their life, liberty, and happiness taken away from them with shoddy police work, with perhaps questionable motivations. Anyways, guys, until we talk again, let justice prevail, and I will talk to you soon.